Hey, Pittsburgh N-Scale, it's Brad from the Prototype Freelanced N-Scale Buffalo line. I was asked to do a layout tour by one of our members here, so I thought I would try to put a quick video together to post. I hope that's okay. Starting off here, first of all, the Buffalo line is Prototype Freelanced. It's based loosely on the real Buffalo line, former Pennsylvania Railroad line, that goes up, starts in Harrisburg and PA, the state capital, runs up through the area where I live, which is north central Pennsylvania, and eventually ends up in Buffalo. Here on the layout, I say it's Prototype Freelance because it's I didn't want to be bound by having to get the details of real life towns and everything. Now, some of the towns are real life, but since this is a basically partially fictionally line, you get more modeler's license. So the big difference between my Buffalo line and the real one is, first of all, it's in modern days, and you can see the PRR still exists in my dream world. And it's also a 4-track main line, which the Pennsy was famous for, but the Buffalo line was never more than double track. Most of it's single track today. But anyway, we're starting off here in the North End staging yard, which, as you can see, is full of trains. I am going to add more tracks here in the foreground for some shorter trains. The tracks that are in place are for longer ones. Trains get staged here on the North End and come out right where these two are facing, go out around this corner, and then they're out onto the scenic part of the layout. They take a trip all the way around, and then they return back on this loop. You can see there's the beginning of the 4-track main line. This end loop here loops back into the yard, and then they can go back into staging. So this is the staging yard on the North End, hidden staging yard. The scenic part of the layout is just over this ridge. This is the area known as Keating Summit. Now, I'm going to start the tour. The next part of the tour is going to be over there, but I'm kind of isolated from it because I'm in my own little operator or dispatcher's coopy hole here. So I'm going to have to go out, so pardon me as I use my sophisticated duck under device here. And we'll head under the layout. And then I'm going to head back over there to the Keating Summit area. So here we are at the summit of the Keating grade. It's a real grade on the Buffalo line. It's one of the reasons why the real Buffalo line has been downgraded in favor of other lines, because it's a steep grade. I solved that problem fictionally here by having tunnels at the top. These are the Keating Summit tunnels, completely fictional. No real tunnel like this exists. One of the booming businesses in our area when I was designing this was the natural gas industry. So I have a gas pad here that is served by rail, as you can see. Got some Buffalo and Pittsburgh engines there. And then I also have a sawmill. This is wilderness area, really, where this line runs. And Keating Summit, there is a town up there, but there's also in the area lots of isolated places where there are sawmills. Now I have, currently you can see I have Nittany and Bald Eagle short line engines here. They will not appear on this part of the layout, but the part where they will be down towards a town called Lock Haven, PA, which is very near where I live. In fact, I went to college there. That part of the layout does not even have bench work constructed yet. So anyway, here's where they come out of the hidden staging where we were, come down the 4-track main and into the tunnels. And then I'm going to loop up and over the tunnel here. Here's the southern end of the Keating Summit tunnels. See, this area is not completely done, but the scenery is much more done than in other parts. And now we're dropping down grade. Right here is where the 2% downgrade starts, and follows this path down here. And now we are to the part of the layout that I just was working on this morning. I just put this ridge in. This area will be the site of a town called Emporium, Pennsylvania. So the next thing I'm going to be doing once this ridge is done is building the town of Emporium. Now this part of the layout is a mess. I apologize for the mess, but it is under construction. So when we continue dropping down grade here, we will come to a nearby town called Driftwood. Emporium's actually a much bigger town. Driftwood is one of those little spots, circled dots on the map, I guess. But it is an important interchange with the Buffalo and Pittsburgh. This loop down here is just temporary to return the trains back up to the north end staging. I wanted to build it in sections so that I could run trains as I was building. I find that it keeps you from losing interest if you can run some trains while you're building. So down here, this will be completely different configuration eventually, but it will have the town of Driftwood, and that'll be the interchange with the Buffalo and Pittsburgh. There's going to be a lot of short lines. There are a lot of short lines on the real Buffalo line that intersect. The Buffalo and Pittsburgh is one of them. R.J. Corman, Pennsylvania lines intersects at a town, or interchanges at a town called Keating, which will be, if we follow where the layout's going to be, I'm going to have bench work in here at some point. It's going to loop around this wall, and down there where all of that stuff is, which is going to be taken out of here eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later, that's where the town of Keating, not Keating Summit, but just Keating is going to be. And there's a neat series of bridges there that go over Cinnamahoney Creek, and also the interchange with R.J. Corman is there. So that's basically the tour of the layout that's done to this point. There's a lot more to do yet. Right now it is basically I got to think for a second, it's 9 feet wide, okay, by 12 feet long. So along those dimensions over there, that's 9 feet, and then front to back where we're at is 12 feet with this little extension down here also. So that's basically the extent of the tour today. I was asked by forum member here, Josh, to post a tour of it, so there it is. Thanks for watching. Everybody have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.